a vodcast series featuring next level racing ambassadors and content creators. Join us every month as we interview the faces that shape our industry and inspire our community. From casual Formula One fan to full-time iRacing content creator, JaymeDrives turned a fun New Year's resolution into a career. Today we're chatting with Jaymee to learn more about her journey. Thank you for joining me, Jaymee.
Hi, Bonnie. How's it going? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited about this.
Thank you for joining us. This is, of course, our first episode of Show Us Your Rig, our content creator vodcast, featuring content creators that we work with. And I have the absolute privilege of interviewing you today. And I am so excited to be here and get into it. Your story is one of my all-time favorites. I think both as someone who was recently introduced to the racing world myself and someone who is, also identifies as a female. For me, your journey has been nothing short of inspirational. And so I can't wait to share with the rest of our audience all the cool stuff that you've been doing.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. That's super cool. Thanks, Bonnie.
Well, let's get into it.
All right,
So how
let's
did
do it.
you discover your love for Formula racing?
So I think like most people I was stuck in my house during COVID, right? There wasn't a lot going on, and I was looking for an outlet to connect to people. I found Formula, F1 racing, and I found the experience of watching the guys on the track while there were no people in the audience as something that resonated with me. I'm like, okay, look, these guys are sort of like in a situation where they're isolated. I'm here, I'm isolated, and so it was a connection point for me. It was a way to have that human connection with people, um, while being in my house, and of course, these are our idols, and I quickly found out that Lewis Hamilton, GOAT, of course, all-time favorite. So, that was how I started to fall in love with F1. So this was 2020,
Yep.
just in my house, started to watch it towards the end of the season and just really fell in love with the concept of road racing and formula racing and really imagined myself, had those childhood dreams where it's like, okay, when I grow up, maybe I could be an F1 racer or driver. And, with sim racing, that's become something that's like more and more of a fantasy of mine, just to be in a formula car, not necessarily F1, obviously. But I
Hey,
do,
this
I
world
I,
offers many opportunities. Who knows where
you
your sim
know
racing content creation will take you? Maybe one day you will sit in
Absolutely.
that formula car.
Absolutely, we can hope. We can
Mm,
absolutely hope for that.
I'm
So,
manifesting it for you. Let's go, babe.
thank you. Let's go. Let's get that Formula C F1 Academy. I'm looking at you, I'm just saying. So, I that is one of the things I really do like, about sim racing. So, fell in love with Formula 1, just started watching it. Um yeah. So that is how I initially got into F1 was through COVID, and then just really got into the competition aspect of it. Love watching the teams, and then of course, like I said, the Netflix drama mm, is top notch. So I think like most people were just like incredibly hooked,
Yep.
and I still am a hater and a fan all in one. So.
Just this weekend gone, we of course had the Singapore track, and
Mm,
my favorite thing from that was the lizard clocking in. That was so
mm.
good.
So amazing, so amazing. But the
Uh,
saddest, I think, let's go ahead, Ricardo, we love you. Wherever you are, you
mm.
end up. Gotta say we do love you, mate. So it was really cool weekend. It was a good
Yeah.
weekend.
No, it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
So you started your journey at the start of the year on content
Yes.
creation specifically,
Yes.
and you sort of had this goal to sort of like see where you ended up after 100 days. And I remember jumping in on a few of your streams. It was like day 50 something, day 70 something, and it was just sort of to see, I guess, how far you were going to progress with this and how your skill was
Mhm.
going to go. But at what
Mhm.
point did you realize that this hobby was about to become your entire life?
Mm. So I was introduced to endurance racing
Yep.
in iRacing, and for me, I had been playing around in the rookies basically, not until this, but for about my first 7 or 8 weeks on the service, like, really trying to spend as most of the season in rookies as possible, just learning iRacing, learning even the UI and how to calibrate things and troubleshoot before even like getting the opportunity to really work on my racecraft. So, got out of rookie, started hanging around D class formula. Like everybody, thought I wanted to start and stick with one thing, and inevitably found out, like, oh, hey, you know what? I could drive a Ferrari in here. That might be cool. Or I could drive a Porsche. Like I might like that, you know. And so
Cool.
all of these ideas that I had, these preconceived notions, started to melt away. And to me, at that point, that's when things started to open up. iRacing has an amazing community, and I had built up pretty quickly, well within the first 100 days, a really good support system of people who encouraged me to try different things. To, if you think you want to try, sports cars, go for it. And so I was encouraged to do a 3 hour endurance race. It was at Red Bull Ring, and I was in the Mercedes and found out like a week before that there was going to be a ton of rain, but I was committed at this point, and I put in tons and tons and tons of practice. And so after doing the 3-hour race, I felt a sense of competition, which I love. I'm a massive competitor athlete at heart. And so I was like, "Oh, I get it. I absolutely get it now." Like, people get really fired up about it, and it is a way to become, a esports driver, to do all of these things, these paths that like, oh, this is how they're doing it, or this is what these people are doing. Like now I can kind of see a progression if I ever wanted to do something. And so developed a team. It was just me and a few of my friends at first. And then we did another endurance race. We did the Glen, and there were 2 teams that went under Jamie Marshall Racing, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And then we did 24 hours at Spa, and 2 or 3 teams went. And then we
Wow.
did Yeah, it was really great, and then we did 24 hours of Le Mans, and we sent 2 teams. And so it was never anything that I could have predicted, in those first 100 days. But after the first race, I saw this could be a great community. This could be something that I could show, like, grow into people wanting to come and drive for me. And so that to me was when it clicked over from there are so many different ways that sim racing can change your life if you let it. And I started taking things far more, seriously, definitely. So I absolutely love every second of it. It could be a little bit stressful, but like, especially because you wanna win now too, and
Yeah.
your girl's a ball and split baby, so especially in these these lower ranks, like, it could be a little difficult, but I've met the most amazing people, so, like, that's for to me, the best of both worlds, right? Like, you've got the community and you've got the passion, and you put those 2 things together, like, no telling where we're gonna go with it, so, yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
And a
been great.
community makes or breaks it, right? Like it's the people
Yes.
that you race with, it's the people in your chat, it's the people that sort of really inspire you and really drive you. And
Yes.
it's the relationships
Yes.
you build along the way that I think really make it a worthwhile industry to be
Yeah.
in and content to create. Absolutely.
I have met the coolest people, in my entire life, and everybody has this obviously very common interest, and that has made, like you said, all of the difference because everybody brings, little tips and tricks. And I've said from the beginning, I am taught by chat. Like, your girl had no clue how to calibrate her wheel. We drove with an uncalibrated wheel for the first 2 weeks. I'm so serious, do not come for me. Uh but we got through it with the help of the people in chat and the community and the people who saw themselves and said, "Hey, like, I've been here, like, let me reach out and help this person." So, it's been truly, truly, like, a really great experience.
That's so incredible. When the internet is good, it's good. When
Oh, yeah.
it's bad, but when it's good, it's good.
Yes, we like to focus on the good because there can't 100% be that bad aspect too, so, yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So, what has been your biggest struggle as a sim racer?
Biggest struggle as a sim racer has definitely been people taking me seriously.
Mhm.
Um, on one side, we talk about how great the people were to help me calibrate my wheel, but on the other hand is I'm putting myself out there and people see that, and for whatever reason, sometimes the internet can be a nasty place, and I think sim racing for such a long time has been so niche,
Yeah,
and now that we're getting more people into the space and more females into the space, sometimes that's not necessarily met with the best reception, and so dealing with that, especially like I said, you joke about your like, being in the bottom splits or anything, but sometimes those can be or oftentimes it can be really difficult to get out of those levels because, you have people who have Smurf accounts and things, and so it's kind of all encompassing, like, you have people who don't wanna see you do well and who have alt accounts and stay, keeping them low so they can crash you out, and because they like their thing, and there's more attention being brought to their thing, and so now it's becoming everybody's thing, and so I just think that, like I said, I think people take me more seriously now because they've
good.
seen, like, I'm not gonna stop regardless of what your opinions about me belonging here or not belonging here might be, um, but that was a little bit to get used to, but that's been the biggest probably my biggest obstacle is just staying focused when people don't think that I have any business trying to be focused on sim racing to begin with, honestly.
Which is such a strange angle to take because all I can think about is how much more fun my hobbies are when there are more people on the planet to talk to about my hobbies. You know, I'm
Yes.
an avid gamer. I just enjoy video games in general. And there's a lot of people in this office that don't play video games. And it's
Mhm.
like, oh, like I want to talk about, this new game that's coming out, and they kind of give me
Yeah.
this blank stare, and I think, oh, how good would it be if I could just convert you all to being gamers so we can talk about video games.
Yes,
And I think
yeah.
about the world of sim racing and how exclusive it's been for such a long time, and people like you who have, encountered some difficulties along the way. I remember one comment on a collaborative post we did where they said, "Did you pay a model to sit in this rig for you?" And first of
Yeah,
all,
yeah.
yes, she's gorgeous. And second of all, no,
Thank
I
you.
didn't pay her. She's an awesome sim racer. And of course, you clapped back and said, "Let me show you a thing or two around the track," which was
Yeah,
an
yeah.
unbelievable way to
Thank
handle that situation. Very well done.
you.
But this idea of like we want to expand this world. You want more people
Mhm,
interested in this thing
mhm.
because then more people will talk about it. You'll have more friends. You'll get to meet new and exciting people, and great
Yes.
opportunities will come your way. And
Mhm.
if you want us to make more sim rigs for you to sit in, then there needs to be people
Yeah,
out there buying these sim rigs. So why wouldn't you introduce them
absolutely.
to this world? Like
Absolutely.
withholding that just doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely, and, I for all of the bad that there is, like, just there is so much more good in the sim racing community, like, I wanna say that first and foremost, like, I love the sim racing community, everybody has been so amazing, but things are amplified on the internet, and so
Of
with
course.
that, smaller group of people who don't necessarily like me in this space, they don't like females in this space, they generally are just, probably unhappy individuals to begin with, but you do see that, and it does come out, and I don't know necessarily why people wanna hoard something rather than opening it up and having different opinions about it. The more that we talk about this subject, the more that like you said, more summaries can be created because we have more eyes on the topic, and I like making friends, like, I never would have met you if it hadn't been for sim racing, and some of my best friends I have ever met are from sim racing, and people I never would have necessarily be like, "Oh, we're gonna completely hit it off." Me and this person from, completely across the globe that I never would have had the chance to meet in real life, like, it's truly amazing, and I want to show people how great it can be, and so I'm with you.
Absolutely.
I'm with you on that.
What series do you race in, and what I rating are you?
Ooh, okay. So those are a little sensitive,
Okay.
subjects just because, mm, I am currently a zero point 0.5 in sports cars, but I'm a B license.
Okay.
Depending on who you ask, that's an extremely dangerous combination. I have reasons. I had to withdraw from the eye tested race recently because
Oh,
my headset disconnected. I could not hear my spotter, like, it bricked. It completely bricked all of
oh
a sudden. It
no.
was so bad. It was so bad. We were streaming, I think we had, like, I don't know, maybe like 100 people in here watching or something, and,
Yep.
like, I can't hear anything. I crashed into another
Oh,
car. So we had to just so that dropped me from like a point 0.7 to a
oh,
point 0.5, but my
brutal.
it is brutal. I like to think that I am I fell, under the unfortunate set of directives when iRacing split their licenses from
Oh,
having yes, so I never really had a chase a sports car. I had, like, a zero point 0.8, and then they split, so I went into the sports car licensure with a zero point 0.8. All jokes aside, I've done a lot I feel like my racecraft is much higher than my I rating. I am a victim of stream sniping, no joke. People love to wreck into me.
yep.
They love it. They absolutely love it. But, it's a game, and it's so much fun, so I don't let that get to me. You could have and that's one of the really cool things I like to show about iRacing is you don't necessarily need to be an alien or have, a
Yep.
4K plus iRating to have a good time. Like, if you come and see my chat room, like, we have so much fun in there. It's laughing, it's a lot of fun. I'm a rookie, and I definitely understand that, but I won't be a rookie in a year. I won't be a rookie in a year and a half. And so all of the stuff that is happening now, with the low I ratings and things, that's just I race a lot in the daily races, and so it's just naturally gonna happen.
Yeah.
I did find out
Growing
that
pains.
yes, absolutely.
Mm.
The endurance races, that's where you pick up that's see, I get it now. That's the thing, like, these
Mm.
24-hour races, girl, yes. Bump up to, like, an 8 to whatever, like a 4.0, and if you do a lot of the driving, you can really bump up your I rating. So like I said, I'm all about the endurance racing now. But I do drive the F4 series right now. And then I go back and forth between that and GT3 and then some GT4, just testing out the new BMW. So that is a really fun car. So that is what I
Nice.
do, and then just getting ready for if there's a special event, doing the special event, so yeah, that is
Heck
what I've been
yeah.
doing. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
your
yeah.
community is a lot of fun. I jump in there semi regularly and check it out from the NLR account, and I go, "Hey everyone, how you doing?" And they're always so lovely and so willing to
Oh,
chat. And
yes.
it is actually such a vibe. I thoroughly enjoy learning alongside with you as well while you're racing, and your chat is helping you out. And speaking of learning, my next question: where do you
Yeah.
go to learn new techniques?
So I have been I look at Swelio stuff. He's got a lot of really great content on YouTube that's free, that you can look at and really easy to understand. But honestly, like if I can be like on I am very hard-headed and it's for me been a lot of just seat time, like absolute seat time and finding out what the best line for me on the track is, learning how to read a track, like that just took a long time for me. But that came from being on the rig and being in iRacing and doing the races daily and kind of having to figure out on the fly how to handle situations and then actively try to apply that information, in the subsequent races and things. It's not been a linear process. That is my favorite, like, absolute most true thing about iRacing is definitely not like this. Like, the learning is definitely
Yep,
up and down because there's just so much information.
of
And you just
course.
yeah, and you just can't absorb all of it at one time, and so your brain is gonna be able to pick up certain cues that you wouldn't at 3 months, at 6 months, you'll be able to, and things that weren't muscle memory become muscle memory, and now your brain can focus on something else in the learning process, and so, for me, what's been really important is just understanding that frustration is part of it. I'm going to get frustrated, that's okay. But that doesn't mean that I don't absolutely love it, like, I 100% do, and I think sometimes the love of it might come out as frustration when you are on the last lap and you slide off the track and don't get a place. Okay. It's f totally fine, totally fine.
we
Love
don't get
that.
we don't get angry and we don't get
Mm-mm.
passionate about things that we don't care about, right? So
Yes,
it just
yes.
that sort of frustration that might come out from time to time is just a show of how much you love iRacing and how much you love the sport.
100%. Mhm. Yes.
That's what we're
Yes.
going to stick to.
Yes,
That's the
100
story.
yes, we are on the same page there. That's what we're sticking to, that's our story, I'm with you, girl. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh dear. All
Mm.
right.
My goodness.
If you could
Yes.
give one tip to anyone starting out in sim racing, what would it be?
Watch streamers, honestly. They are going to even if they don't necessarily think that they are giving tips, they're gonna talk about what they're dealing with as it's happening, and it's something that you're going to deal with. Ask questions in their chat. They will definitely, give you the most honest, raw, experience that they've dealt with and a way to fix it. Don't give up because it's hard. The rookie series could be absolutely brutal just because that's people farm rating in rookie series. So you've just got these dynamics going on that maybe as a new racer you don't know about. But ultimately, find a community, find a streamer you could watch and learn, and don't give up. Just stick with it because it becomes so much more fun the less frustrating it gets. And just by like because of what it is, it's going to be frustrating on the way. You're not going to win your first race. You're going to get punted into a wall. Somebody's going to punt you into a wall, and that's all okay. You can race again. Like that's the big thing.
It
Like
sounds
we
okay. As
thought,
you're saying it, I can hear the waver in your voice. You're like,
I'm
that's
like, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. No, no, for real. I absolutely love it to death. And beginners, I am very much a beginner, so don't take yourself too seriously. Get in there, find a community where you can grow, that you can have fun with, make friends, show up and do races with, um, and just come back. Keep coming back, and you'll find more joy in it, I think, every time. So that's my biggest tip.
absolutely could not agree more. All right. I have my second most important question for you today. What is your go to
Yes.
snack after a long session?
Ooh, okay. So I am a big, like I like protein shakes anyways, like, have you heard of Huel?
Yes,
It's
yes.
a okay, so I have a Huel every day. They have 90 milligrams of caffeine
Woo!
in these shakes, so I'm usually very tired post the stream,
Yep.
so I always have to have, like, a little caffeine kick, so it's like a protein shake with caffeine. It's not
Yeah.
that exciting, we're a little bit boring, but it's very, very good and gets the job done.
Good, good.
Yes,
No,
yes,
sounds like a plan. All right.
it is.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for. Show us your rig.
Yes. All right. We will show you the rig now. Ta-da! All right, everybody. This is the part that you've really been waiting for. Let's take a look at this rig. We've got the FGT Elite. For our seat, we have the ERS-1 Elite reclining seat. And then for our 4 monitors, we can only trust the Elite Quad monitor stand in carbon gray. We also have the Acetec La Prima wheelbase and low cell pedals to help get us across that finish line. So, if you are looking to get into sim racing or upgrade your rig, head on over to Next Level Racing for all of your sim racing needs.
Ta-da! And where can people find you, Jamie?
Yes, you can find me on YouTube under Jamie Marshall or Instagram under jamie.marshall.lv or on Twitch under my Twitch name, JaymeDrives, where most people know me as. So that's where I am.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time today, Jaymee.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Thank you for having me, Bonnie. This is great. I really appreciate it.
If you've been inspired to begin your sim racing journey, or if you're itching to upgrade your current setup, be sure to check out Next Level Racing.